We're here. Hello and welcome to another edition of 5-Star Broadcast. I'm Andy Peck.
And I'm Angelo Parenti.
And this week we're going to answer some of your questions, but first we're going to start off with the contest winner that we held, or the contest that we held. We got a winner. Name's Austin. I'll put up his Twitter and his picture of the Creator Wrestler that he won right there. And then also he won a little prize pack from us, so he took a nice picture of what we gave him, so I'll put that there as well. So congratulations to him and thanks to everybody that entered.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Peck and I were talking about some future contests and things we want to do, so thanks to everyone who participated. Make sure to do it again. We're really trying to, it's tough, but you know, we just want to build up, you know, a sweet fan base because we love talking wrestling, and it seems like, you know, the people who do ask the questions and are into the 5-Star Broadcast are big wrestling fans too, and it's real fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. And like Andrew was saying, we want to do more contests and stuff, but we're kind of limited to what we can do right now, and that's because we have a kind of ban on YouTube. When we went to Survivor Series, Ange filmed the entire segment that happened after Survivor Series went off the air and posted it to our page. WWE found it almost immediately and pulled it down, and we also got this, I guess, little punishment where we can't post videos that are longer than 15 minutes. So that kind of messed up the format for what we were going to be doing. We weren't going to have these short 15-minute videos. We were going to go a little longer, and we had some other cool stuff planned, some different segments and stuff, but right now we're kind of constrained until May, I believe.
Yeah, so if there's anyone who is, you know, knows more about behind the scenes of YouTube stuff, or someone, you have a contact or something that could help us lift this ban, because, you know, I mean,
it's hurting.
Yeah, the video is gone immediately. I don't think there was a huge amount of people who saw it, and you know, it was just what happened at the end of that show didn't even matter.
No.
But besides that, like, it seems like the ban was like, I read it and that, like, we weren't like trying to, you know, argue with them or try to get the video posted back up. We were completely fine with it being removed, but
it sucks because it was our first video that we posted. Like, we didn't even have a broadcast up yet. That was the first thing to our page.
Yeah, so
and we got yanked.
If anyone could help us out, I mean, I don't know how to contact YouTube or anything. We looked into it a little bit. It said contact the people who took it down. I mean, we could email WWE.
We'll call Vince up. Vince.
I mean, I think there's that person you might know. I don't know if they could do anything.
Probably not.
But
that's probably out of their hands, so who knows. We're kind of have our hands tied, but if not, look for some changes coming in March, or not March, May. It's a little down the road, but that's when this ban gets lifted. But now into some questions. The first one we have is from our friend Tom. And he wants to know, besides Goldust, what was your favorite WWE action figure to play with as a kid? I guess Tom loves Goldust.
I mean, I was a huge fan of action figures. I think I actually like played with them until I was in like 9th grade. It was ridiculous. So I can't pick one. I mean, I think I used to really like the Jack's Bone Crunchers more than those Titantron figures.
Yeah.
But I want to eventually get, you know, not heavily into it where I'm setting up entranceways and rings and having, you know, pay-per-view and events with myself. But I
did that too, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool ones that have come out recently, especially like Legends ones, like, you know, wrestlers from the past that you've only seen in the Hasbro figures.
Yeah.
So I can't really pick one. There's just, because there's so many, and they would all come. There wasn't just one Stone Cold figure. There were so many.
A million. Yeah. And like you said with that, the Hasbro ones, how they're going back and redoing those guys that were just Hasbro figures. Like, I love some of those that came out later down the line. I had, like, you know, Bam Bam Bigelow one and Earthquake and stuff. So they're always cool.
I remember though in the Jax ones, like, a lot of them were just, you know, the same body types but different paint.
Yeah.
So that's why I always wanted the Yokozuna one because he was obviously so different than all the others.
Yeah. Yeah, I always liked those molds that like stood out different from other people. I remember the Steve Blackman figure. He had a different body type than everybody else. It was terrible for playing because his arms were stuck like this, so he couldn't move. It was awful for playing with, but looking back on it, it was cool because he was different from everybody else.
And then they have like the Slammers ones where they had the buttons in the back and
I hated those.
And then, do you remember the ones that were called like Stomp and they came with like armor or something?
Yeah. They were, and then they were supposed to be scuba divers and then in outer space.
The Stomp one that I didn't like them because they weren't as like flexible as the Jax one, but I made sure to keep the Brian Pillman one because they didn't do a Brian Pillman in the others.
Yeah, they that was Brian Pillman's only figure, and then they also put out a China one, which I traded. I traded my China for a Cactus Jack figure in elementary school. That kid got ripped off.
That's another. The Cactus Jack, like his fingers were like this. So if you were playing with wrestlers and trying to punch, he wasn't punching. He was poking. But the China figure was kind of lame too because it just are you talking about a Stomp China?
Yeah.
Because there was the other China who was just like.
I think it was the same mold, just different paint. How her body like didn't move.
Yeah.
It was just her arms.
But that was cool because she wrestled more than other managers. But it was cool how they had the Marlena one with the Goldust.
Yeah.
And that was cool how the Goldust came with like a wig.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like he was one of the few that had like that accessory, like a cool accessory like that, like the wig and the robe and everything.
I saw this one thing that just came out where it's like all these figures and each one has I guess a body part for Jim Ross.
Oh really?
And then like if you buy them all, you get to build a Jim Ross figure.
That's a smart way to sell like.
Yeah, I think I've seen that done with some kind of other action figures, like some comic books. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't followed WWE action figures in years now. Like I used to be really into it, and then even as I like grew out of buying them, like I would still look because they just look cool. Like what I mean?
There's like I said in the future, I'm definitely gonna start back up, especially because of like they have like the cell and everything. Yeah. So they even have like the barricade entry with stuff for around the ring.
That's really cool.
But I guess we should move on.
Yeah. We'll probably talk about wrestling figures all day, I guess. The next question comes from Melissa on Twitter. She wants to know, do you have any wrestling books? What was the last wrestling book you read? And which wrestling personality should release a book next? I've read a few wrestling books. I've read Mick Foley's The Rock's, Eric Bischoff's, and a book called History of Hardcore, or Hardcore History, the Unauthorized Story of ECW. I also started reading Kurt Angle's, but I got bored and stopped reading it. So
I'm not a big reader. I think when I was younger, when The Rock's book came out, I did a book report on it and I didn't even read it. I just looked through. I'm not, like I said, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of reading, but after listening to Steve Austin and Jericho's podcast, there's that Audible thing, and like you could listen to
the books.
So he said that, I think he said Hogan's is on there. I forget who else, but I was thinking about looking into that because I think like there's a code and you could do it for free.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to check out Jericho's book and Shawn Michaels too, but I never got around to those. As for people that I would want to see write a book, I don't know if he's done one yet, but Jim Ross, has he done one? If not, I would love to.
I listened to an interview with him, and I think he said a book's in the works.
Okay.
So
perfect.
He's coming out with a podcast too.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's gonna be great. I just listened to an interview with him, and he said the book is gonna work. That's why I brought up that event thing and see if you were gonna go when it comes to WrestleMania. But Jim Ross is perfect for a book.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Vince McMahon would ever consider it.
Probably, maybe, down the line, a few years from now. I would like to see Joey Styles do a book. Mm-hmm. He would have some cool stories to tell, I'm sure. And Paul Heyman.
Definitely.
Those two guys. Paul Heyman DVD.
There's Paul Heyman DVD, Ultimate Warrior DVD, Wrestling Music DVD.
Shawn Michaels has a new DVD coming out. A lot of DVDs coming out that are going to make me broke. But moving on from that, we got some questions from our friend Matt again. He wants to know, which NXT star do you see possibly debuting between now and WrestleMania?
it seems like they're gonna push that Alexander Rusev, or however you say it.
Yeah.
We went to a house show and he fought Justin Gabriel.
Yeah.
Beat him. He's a big dude. Well, you said he reminded you of Taz.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, he's got that same type of, like, he's a short, stocky guy, and he seems like he's going to do some, like, suplexes and stuff and just kind of be a ground and pound, but he seems like a little more agile than Taz. He was throwing up some kicks and stuff, so I'm all right with him so far.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do with him.
And he's got that manager girl.
Yeah.
She wasn't there, but she will be, I guess, going forward.
It seems like, though, out of NXT, the Divas division is maybe just as good as the Divas division in the WWE.
Yeah, well, I mean,
on whatever you want to call the difference between because NXT is WWE.
I know what you mean. But yeah, like with Caitlyn leaving, that opens up a spot,
Mm-hmm.
and I know they've already had Emma appear in the crowd a few times. JBL missed her; he didn't even notice her. They said that was prior to Caitlyn deciding to leave, so she was already coming up, and now I think they're gonna bring up Paige.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I haven't gotten to watch them that much, but I always hear good things about them, so it'll be cool to, get some more divas in there. Ones that could, like, wrestle a little more.
Yeah.
But please, WWE, do not make Divas Tag Team Championships. Please.
I was watching one of the old Royal Rumbles from '88, and they had women's tag team champs. And
Did you read that? The Bellas
no,
talked about how they want them to have tags.
Really?
Yeah. What is the point?
more divas matches, I guess.
It seems like they're finally cutting down on, belts.
Yeah, and now they want another one.
Yeah, I really hope they move on with unifying the Intercontinental and United States belts. But
yeah, I think that'll happen soon. We have one final question here as we're running out of time. It's from Austin, the winner of our contest. He wanted to know, besides the Great Khali, I'm going to hope that was a joke, otherwise you're disqualified from further competitions. Other than the Great Khali, who had the best run as a World Heavyweight Champion? And me and Andrew were talking as we were coming into this, and Edge stood out for both of us. As I looked into some numbers here, Edge is a 7-time World Heavyweight Champion, which is the most out of WWE's lineage, and he held the title for the third highest amount of days with 409 days, and he's only behind Triple H and Batista, so Edge got it from us.
Yeah, there's quite a bunch of big names on the list, with Triple H, Batista, CM Punk, the Undertaker. So
Chris Benoit.
Yeah, where the hell? Great Khali held it for how long?
61 days. That's
Come on,
61
man.
days too many.
This is definitely a joke. But
Goldberg was even on there. I don't even remember that, to be honest. I was talking about it the other day, like that whole era, 2000, like early 2000s, is a blur because it was just so bad.
Yeah, that's one thing when the WWE Network comes, if they really do have all these episodes, and whatever they do have, I'm gonna watch it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And just
follow.
It's like you get to watch your last however many years of your life all over again.
It'd be a wrestling. So yeah, definitely, that sounds like a good idea.
Especially with Nitro, because
yeah,
between the two, I was a WWE guy.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for WCW as much. I liked the competition between the two, but I was WWE all the way.
You know what? Maybe going forward, we'll pick out a pay-per-view each week, and each of us can review it. You can
Definitely.
watch a WCW one, I'll watch an ECW one, or something, and we'll do something cool with that with the WWE Network.
But yeah, make sure to keep up with us on Twitter, especially because we'll be at the Royal Rumble. We'll be tweeting live.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be fun. Get our reactions to some surprises.
But yeah, we're out of time and we're out of here.
See ya.